Okay, in this video, I'm going to show you how we ring in appetizers at our restaurant. So first thing, as usual, I'll open up a table. I'm going to click my name, or whatever your name is, that's what you're going to click on. Then depending on how many people are seated at the table, you'll click that party size. So we'll assume there's 4 people. So first thing you're going to do, after of course you ask them what sort of beverage they would like to drink, start them off with some appetizers. Ask them if they like to start off with any starter, and if they say yes, you're going to go to starters. And now let's say seat number 1 says they like to start off with mozzarella sticks. You click it, choose the sauce that they would prefer, save. Let's say that's going to be for seat 1 and 2. Then you have seat 3 and 4 sharing coconut shrimp. So once you do that, what you would have to do is you can't just send it like this to the kitchen. You want them to know that this is being ordered as an appetizer, because there are some people who might order this as their main meal. So what you would do is, we have this first button right over here. So you would click the appetizer, then you'll click this first button. So that shows up right beneath it. And when the kitchen sees that, they're going to understand that this is an appetizer. We have to send it out first before the main meal. So you would have to do that for every appetizer that's rung in here. So for the coconut shrimp, I'll also go ahead and press this button, the first button. Now, how the kitchen prefers it, how they've always done it, is you send the appetizer on a separate receipt. We call it a chit. So you send this before you send the main order, so they can start working on it. Try not to ring in the main order with this here. That way this can be on a separate chit, and it'll be easier for the kitchen to read it back there and get the food out quickly, or quicker for you. So I'm just gonna put a modifier here saying do not make. That way the kitchen knows not to make it right now. Just gonna do that. So once you do this, once you punch in the appetizers and it's finished, you're going to click send. And make sure this screen pops up where it says printing. If by chance it pops up and it goes away instantaneously, then there's a problem. It means it did not print in the kitchen. Make sure you see it buffering. That way you know that it has printed in the kitchen. So the good thing about that is that you will know that your order has printed back there. The only negative aspect of that is that you have to wait until it actually prints in the kitchen before the screen comes back to this. So when it's saying printing, it's actually printing in the kitchen, and your screen will not go away. It will not go away until it's actually done printing in there. So if you have somebody else who's punching an order and they've printed theirs, it might take a bit longer for yours to finish coming back to this screen, if that makes sense. In any case, now that you've sent the appetizers, then you come back to the table and you ask them what they would like as their main meal. So I want to explain to you what happens, because there are some customers who they will give you your main meal and then they will ask you for an appetizer. So let me show you what I mean. I'm going to exit this and I'm going to go to a new table. I'm going to avoid all these items. Give me 1 second. You hold this. Just going to avoid all items and close table. Just click training. Now, let me open up the table again. So let's say the customers ordered their main meal. So let's start punching in some items. This person ordered a wing combo. Let's say this person would like a burger. And let's say this person wants a mozzarella burger. And then let's say this person now says to you, I would like an appetizer to start for the table. But you've already punched in these orders. Now you could delete them and then you can go and punch in the order like this and send it off on a separate receipt. But that would just take too much time. You'd have to delete these and then reorder them and then punch them in again. So there's a workaround to this. If somebody orders their appetizer after everybody's ordered their main meal, this is what you're going to do. So I'm going to delete this. Actually, I'm going to put that back. If you want to send items individually, this is what you're going to do. Right here, you have this course button. So what's going to happen is you're going to click this and you're going to come to this page. All right. In this page, you can send each item individually. So what you can do, and I'll show you now, you click it and you'll have this pop-up screen and you have the send button. Now there's one issue here why you cannot send this individually, or the problem is that you can only send one item individually at a time, which I don't understand why you cannot click more than one item. You cannot have more than one sent at the same time. So I click this, I can send it, but I can't seem to click two of them at the same time. There's no option for me to do that. So if I click this and I send, the kitchen will not know that it's an appetizer because you're not sending the first button. You could send this one first and then send this separately, but that's going to confuse the kitchen. They're going to have a receipt back there saying coconut shrimp, then they're going to have another one just saying first, and they're going to wonder what that means. So I'll show you how to work around this. We're going to go back. I'm going to click back. I'm going to delete this first button. In all my appetizers, I've included a first button under modifiers right here. So when you click this first button, this is now a modifier and it's part of this menu item. It's connected to it. So when you go back to course, see there, the first button, this is still one item. So if you send this, it's going to send that first right there. So the kitchen knows that this is an appetizer. It's going to send it at the same time. Whereas before, the other first button was like a button on its very own. So you're going to do this. Let me go back and just put do not make for the kitchen to know. So you have everybody who ordered their main meal. Then seat number 4 said, I'd like a coconut shrimp as an appetizer for the whole table. And so you don't want to send these all together on the same receipt because the kitchen might miss that this is an appetizer, and it'll make it easier for them if it's on a separate receipt. So go to course, go to the coconut shrimp or whatever appetizer it may be, click it and click send. And there we go. Now it's sending. I don't know why it's sending receipt, but that's okay. So now you're going to go back here. You're going to see that this is grayed out. See how these are white? This background is now gray. You've now sent the coconut shrimp without having to send any of these items. So that's how you send an appetizer for any other item they may have asked you to, they may have ordered. That's how you send it on its own after they've given you this. And then after that, now you can send these all at the same time. So I'm just going to put do not make so the kitchen knows again. Let's just do this. So now the kitchen will have gotten the coconut shrimp receipt, and then they'll start making that, and then they'll get this and they'll start making this so the customer can get their appetizer first. So then we'll send this, and again, make sure that this is printing. It says printing, printing, printing. You'll see this little wheel going, well, this way. This means it's actually printing, but you have to wait until it finishes printing in the kitchen before you come back to this screen. Now, the starters are not the only things that can be sent as a first at our restaurant. Salads, I have that first button here, and also underneath each item, I have that first button as well. Just gonna delete that. Also, the soup is considered a first, and also the kids' meals can be considered a first. And you want to make sure you ask the parents if they would like their kids' meal first. That way, the kids can start eating, and the parents can help their kids eat. And then once the kids are done eating, you bring out the food for the parents so they can relax when they eat. They don't have to wait. They don't have to feed their kids first and have their food go cold. So these are the different categories that are considered first items, that they should be made before the main meal. Starters, salad, soup, and kids. And not everybody will want these as a starter. Some people will order as their main meal. For example, the nacho platter or a poutine. It might be their main meal, so you don't have to worry about using this first button. So I just want to recap. I'm going to close this table again. I'm going to start fresh. Whoops. I have to hold it. Just going to avoid all items and close table. Alright, so that's done. So I'm going to reopen this. So you start off asking them if they'd like to start with any appetizers. If they say yes, click one, whatever it may be. Put that first button. Finish asking everyone else who would like one. If that's it, you're going to then send it and wait, and then you're going to ask them if they would like to order the main meal now, if they've already decided, or you can come back and ask them once they're ready. And let me just void this and close it, and I will show you again quickly. I'll show you quickly if they order their main meal first, how to send the appetizers separately. So we'll do this again. Just a quick recap. Somebody orders a main meal. And then the next person says, oh, actually I'd like to start an appetizer for the table. I say it's a nacho platter. We would like this first. This can come after. We'll go here, go to modifiers, click the first button under the modifiers so it's connected to the menu item. It's not separate like this. This would be separate. Let's delete that. Go to course, and then send it off separately. So I'm just going to delete all this. And so that's pretty much how we ring in appetizers at our restaurant.